Hi everyone! In today's speech, we're going to talk about how animal testing should be abolished. How many of you own a pet? Many of us who spend time with animals know they experience range of emotions as people. They are capable of love, joy, sadness, grief, and above all, they are capable of suffering. Animal testing refers to the practice of performing unnatural and often painful experiments of animals held captive in stressful laboratory settings, often in the misguided belief that the results of the test will be applicable to humans. Animals used in testing often undergo procedures that results in terrible pain and trauma. Examples include being forced underwater for long periods of time without warning or being infected with diseases which are allowed to progress too far before the animals euthanized humanely. Animal testing should be abolished because it is cruel and inhumane. First, I will talk about how animal testing is dangerous and unreliable. Then, I will discuss how it is flawed and inaccurate. And finally, I will discuss how animal testing is very expensive. Let's get into how animal testing is dangerous and unreliable. Human and animals differ in many ways, so the results produced by animal experiments often don't accurately predict human responses. For example, Vioxx, a drug used to treat arthritis, was found to be safe for monkeys and five other animal species, yet it is estimated to have caused around 320,000 heart attacks and strokes and 140,000 deaths worldwide. A clinical trial of a hepatitis B drug, which was first tested on animals, had to be stopped because it has caused severe liver damage in 7 patients, five of whom died. After examining that animal testing is dangerous and unreliable, we can look at how it is flawed and inaccurate. One example is the Oprah incident in the 1980s. Oprah safely passed animal testing and was introduced to the public in 1980 as an arthritis drug. After just 2 years, it was found to be highly toxic in humans. There were 3,500 reports of harmful effects, including 61 deaths in Britain. Another example is the thalidomide disaster that occurred across the world in the 1960s. After the developers of the popular drug advertised their product as completely safe even during pregnancy, thalidomide was widely used as a sedative and for the treatment of morning sickness, a common term for nausea in pregnant women. However, within a few years of the widespread use of this drug in Europe, Australia, and Japan, approximately 10,000 children were born with a rare congenital skeletal disorder that affected the limbs. Now that we understand how animal testing is flawed and inaccurate, we can discuss how it is also very expensive. Let's look at three tests for example. In chromosome aberrations, an animal test costs $30,000, whereas a vitro test costs $20,000. For sister chromatid exchange, an animal test costs $22,000, whereas a vitro test costs $8,000. For an unscheduled DNA synthesis, an animal test costs $32,000, whereas a vitro test costs $11,000. From these statistics, we see how animal testing costs more than testing for humans. It is observed that a product that is designed for human use costs more in animal testing than human testing. Let's sum everything up. First, I talked about how animal testing is dangerous and unreliable. Then I discussed how it is flawed and inaccurate. And finally, I explained how animal testing is very expensive. Animal testing should be abolished because it is cruel and inhumane. No animals deserve to go through such experiments to cause pain and suffering. Many researchers should switch to advanced ways of experimenting using technology. Hopefully, by listening to this speech, persuade you to abolish animal testing. Thank you.